Hello! Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie if you're new, and today's video is super special. In this video we're going to be making 3 DIY t-shirts. The first one is this patchwork one where I will show you how to hand sew these letters on. Letters, numbers, it can be whatever you want. I chose my year of birth. The second t-shirt is this star one. Again, it doesn't have to be a star. It can be literally whatever you want. I just chose different ways of sewing on each of these t-shirts, so I just wanted to show you. And then the last t-shirt is gonna be this one. It has a little beautiful bow. Again, it's made a little bit differently than the 2 previous ones. I have structured this video so you can directly jump to whichever one you want to create. But before you go, please give me 1 minute of your time. If you're lazy and you don't want to make these t-shirts, or you don't have the supplies, or you just simply want to support my work, I have created my first ever brand. I don't know if I can call it that yet. It's basically a website. It's called Head in the Clouds, and I have put all of these products on there, plus handmade sustainable shorties that go together with the t-shirts. And when I say sustainable, I mean fully sustainable. These are made from vintage and secondhand bed sheets, so you don't have to be worried. This is a eco-friendly business. It's a woman-owned business. It's a small business. Literally, it has just 1 employee, which is me. And there's so many fabrics you can choose from. I also make these beautiful shorties with little sunflowers, and I also made these pastel ones, and there's just so many more fabrics to choose from. So if you have a minute of your time, I would be so grateful if you would go and check out my new business. Also, I offer different types of these t-shirts. I also have this t-shirt in pink with a pink ribbon instead. I offer this t-shirt with the star and all of the fabrics that I have the other shorts in, so you know, you can have like a matching set. And then with this last t-shirt, I think it's the most exciting one because you can literally choose whatever you want to be put on there, and I will make it for you. It can be a name, it can be a year, it can be literally anything. And again, you can choose if you want different types of the fabric or just one, and you know, purchase the shorts with it. I also have sets to make it more affordable. So again, if you would have a minute, I would be so grateful if you would go and check it out. But without further ado, let's jump right into the making of these shirts. Starting off with the hardest t-shirt, which is the year of my birth one, I just started by gathering all of my scrap pieces of fabric and picking out the ones that go together the best, and I settled on these 4. Also, just to make the process a little bit cleaner and easier, I just cut out these 4 little rectangles that I will be using for each number. And then I just took a scrap piece of paper and I drew out the numbers onto it, and then I just cut them out to use as a stencil. Then I put the paper numbers onto the t-shirt and I stuck them on using a scotch tape. And then I just tried the t-shirt on to make sure that I like the position of each number. I was pretty much satisfied, so I just took the paper numbers and I started to trace them onto the scrap piece of fabric. And then I just did the same thing. I cut them out and I stuck them onto the t-shirt where the paper letters were. I mean the paper numbers. Then I just took some pins and I pinned them down, and then I took this embroidery circle. I don't know how to call this thing, but it basically helps you to keep your fabric straight while you are embroidering. If you don't have this, don't worry, you can definitely do it without it. It just makes the process a little bit easier. Anyways, then I just took my needle and some thread and I started hand embroidering it. This was a very time-consuming process, so I did not film all of it, but personally I would say it was definitely worth it because this is how it turned out. Is the easiest one. I started off by taking a scrap piece of paper again and drawing out a simple star shape. I did adjust the shape a lot and also the size, and after I was satisfied with how it looked, I just cut it out and traced it onto my scrap piece of fabric. I like to use a pencil because it's washable, but you can literally use whatever you want. And then I just cut it out with my fabric scissors. Then I pinned it onto the t-shirt, and I would suggest trying it on just with the pin before you start sewing because I did not, and I wish it would be a little bit lower. Anyways, then I moved to my sewing machine and I started to sew down the star using a straight stitch. This was a little bit tricky just because of the star shape, but it definitely is way quicker than if you would hand sew it, so it just depends on what you prefer. And because I was using a bigger t-shirt this time, I also decided to crop it a bit, but yeah, then it was done and this is how it turned out. Last but definitely not least, we will be making my bow t-shirt, which is also my favorite. It's super self-explanatory. I literally just took a scrap piece of ribbon that I had laying around the house and I just tied a super easy bow with it. Then I just placed it down onto my t-shirt and I pinned it using my pins. I will leave the shape of the bow completely up to you. There's so many different ways you can do this. I decided to go for the more symmetrical shape, but you can definitely make it however you want to. You can also just sew down the top of the bow and just leave the bottom pieces hanging, you know, and just let them flow in the air. Anyways, once the bow was pinned down, I just went to my sewing machine and I sewed it down with some matching thread and a straight stitch, and that was literally it, and this is how it turned out. All of these beautiful t-shirts. But once again, as I said, if you're lazy or if you just want to support my work, go check out the link in my description and go check out my new e-shop called Head in the Clouds. I ship to almost all of the world, so wherever you are, I can send it to you. Also, Christmas is coming up and I think these would make such a beautiful Christmas gift. Like if you would put somebody's name on it and like purchase the little shorties to go with it, I think that would be just such a cute gift idea. If you made it to this point of the video, you can use my discount code for 10% off. It's this one, so you can also save some money with your first purchase. And yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a minute, go check out my Instagram, my TikTok, my Pinterest, and my Vinted, and also my brand new e-shop once again. And that is it. I love you so much. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!